If you choose wrong between debt payoff and investing, you can lose years of progress without noticing. Not because you are lazy, but because the math quietly works against you while life keeps moving. Most people hear two loud voices. One says, never invest until every debt disappears. The other says, invest immediately or fall behind forever. Both sound smart. Both can fail badly when applied to the wrong situation. Today you will get a clear decision framework you can use with a calculator, a notebook, and honest numbers. No hype, no magic, just a practical path you can apply starting this week. Here is the headline. High-interest debt usually deserves aggressive attack first. Lower interest debt can coexist with investing. The key is comparing guaranteed costs against probable returns, then matching that choice with your behavior and stress level. Because money is not only arithmetic. Money is arithmetic plus habits, emotions, consistency, and sleep quality. A perfect plan that you abandon in panic is worse than a good plan you follow for 10 years. Start with a simple truth. Interest you pay is guaranteed loss. Investment returns are uncertain gains. When your debt rate is extremely high, that guaranteed loss is usually too expensive to ignore. My name is Dave, and before we start, subscribe and comment your situation. I read and reply to every comment, and I'll tailor the next video to what you're dealing with right now. Imagine a credit card balance charging around 24% annually. That rate can consume progress faster than you build it. You might invest faithfully and still feel stuck because interest keeps taking the elevator downward. Now compare that with a lower rate loan near 4 or 5%. Suddenly the decision becomes less obvious. The gap between debt cost and expected long-term investing return gets narrower, and strategy requires more nuance. This is where people freeze. They want one universal rule to remove uncertainty, but personal finance rewards flexible thinking. Your cash flow, risk tolerance, income stability, and discipline all influence the better move. Let us build your framework step by step. First, list every debt with balance, minimum payment, and annual interest rate. Do not guess. Pull statements. Precision beats memory every single time. Second, calculate your monthly surplus after essentials, minimum debt payments, and basic living costs. That surplus is your strategic fuel. Without this number, decisions remain emotional instead of operational. Third, establish your emergency buffer target. For many people, 3 to 6 months of core expenses works. If income is unstable or anxiety is high, a larger buffer can prevent destructive financial decisions. Why emergency savings before aggressive investing? Because surprises happen. Car repairs, medical bills, job disruption, family emergencies. Without cash reserves, people often return to high-interest debt and reset months of progress. Now we compare two engines, debt reduction and investing. Debt reduction gives you a guaranteed return equal to the interest avoided. Investing gives potential long-term growth, but with volatility and no annual guarantees. Suppose you carry debt at 20%. Paying that off is like earning a risk-free 20% by avoiding interest. Few realistic investment strategies consistently beat that, especially after taxes, fees, and behavioral mistakes. Suppose your debt costs 5% instead. Long-run diversified investing might average more than that over decades, though never smoothly. In this range, a blended strategy often becomes reasonable if behavior supports it. Behavior matters more than people admit. If debt causes constant stress and poor focus, eliminating it can improve everything: sleep, decision quality, and consistency. Those gains are real, even when spreadsheets understate them. On the other hand, some people manage low-rate debt comfortably and invest consistently regardless of market headlines. For them, starting early can compound meaningfully and create momentum that debt-only strategies delay. Let us run a clean case. You owe $10,000 at 5%. Minimum payment is $150 monthly. You have $200 extra each month available for strategic allocation. Strategy 1. Debt first. You pay $350 monthly until debt disappears, then redirect that full amount toward investing. You gain interest savings early and remove debt risk faster. Strategy 2. Hybrid from day 1. You pay the 150 minimum and invest 200 monthly into a broad low-cost index approach. Debt declines slowly while investments begin compounding immediately. At first glance, strategy 1 feels safer. At first glance, strategy 2 feels faster. In reality, outcomes can be surprisingly close when rates are moderate and assumptions remain reasonable. Small changes shift results. A lower market return, a missed payment, inconsistent contributions, unexpected expense or panic selling during downturns can flip the winner. That is why rigid ideology underperforms adaptive planning. Now change one variable. Debt jumps from 5% to 20%. The picture changes dramatically. Carrying that balance while investing becomes expensive quickly, and debt first usually becomes the financially superior priority. This is your first practical rule. If debt interest is clearly above realistic long-term portfolio expectations, attack debt aggressively. If debt is much lower, consider split allocation while maintaining disciplined investing habits. Second practical rule. Never ignore minimum payments. Late fees and penalty rates can destroy good plans. Automation helps here. Set minimums to auto-pay and remove avoidable mistakes before optimizing anything else. Third practical rule. Build systems, not motivation. Motivation fades after tough weeks. Systems keep moving. Automated transfers, scheduled review days, predefined percentages, and written triggers for how you respond when markets drop. Let us address market fear directly. Even diversified portfolios decline sometimes. Short-term losses are normal, not evidence that investing is broken. The danger is emotional reaction, not volatility itself. If you invest money you need within the next few years, volatility becomes a problem. Near-term goals should usually prioritize safer savings instruments, not aggressive equity allocations designed for decade-long compounding. Time horizon decides tool choice. 10+ years favors growth assets. 1 to 3 years favors stability and liquidity. Mixing timelines is how people end up selling investments at painful moments. Now, about peace of mind. Some viewers will always sleep better debt-free. That preference is not weakness. If peace keeps you consistent, the strategy has value beyond percentage points. Others feel energized by watching investments grow, even while carrying manageable low-rate debt. If that encourages disciplined saving and prevents lifestyle inflation, hybrid allocation can be powerful over long horizons. What you must avoid is all-or-nothing thinking. Financial life is dynamic. Interest rates change, income changes, family needs change. A plan should adapt without abandoning core principles. Core Principle 1. Eliminate toxic debt. Core Principle 2. Protect against emergencies. Core Principle 3. Invest consistently in diversified, low-cost vehicles. Core Principle 4. Increase earning power over time. Earning power is often underrated in debt versus investing debates. Raising income by even a small monthly amount can accelerate both debt payoff and investing, reducing the need to choose one exclusively. So add a growth lever to your plan. Negotiate compensation, develop marketable skills, seek better opportunities, or create a side revenue stream. More cash flow expands strategic flexibility dramatically. Let us talk percentages for allocation. With high-interest debt, many people choose something like 90% toward payoff, 10% towards symbolic investing to build habit. Habit continuity can matter long-term. With moderate debt, a 50-50 split can work for disciplined savers. With low debt and strong emergency reserves, some choose heavier investing while maintaining structured debt payments. Context determines the optimal blend. Your blend should be written, not improvised. Define exact amounts and transfer dates. Ambiguity invites emotional spending. Precision turns intentions into execution, and execution builds measurable financial progress. Use a monthly money meeting with yourself, 30 minutes. Review balances, interest rates, contribution totals, and one improvement for next month. Small, regular adjustments beat rare, dramatic overhauls. Now let us address fees and friction. Investment fees reduce long-term results. Debt refinancing costs can cancel potential benefits. Always check total cost, not just marketing language or teaser rates. When evaluating refinancing, compare annual percentage rates, fixed versus variable terms, fees, and repayment flexibility. A lower headline rate with heavy fees may provide less benefit than expected. When evaluating investments, prioritize broad diversification and low expenses. Complexity often feels sophisticated, but frequently adds cost and behavioral error. Simple portfolios are easier to hold through uncertainty. You might ask, what about mortgage debt? Mortgage rates are often lower than revolving credit, and interest treatment varies by jurisdiction. Many households choose balanced progress rather than extreme one-side prioritization, but never let lower-rate debt justify lifestyle inflation. The real opponent is not debt alone. It is uncontrolled consumption that prevents meaningful principal reduction and long-term investing consistency. Lifestyle inflation is sneaky. Income rises, spending quietly expands, and financial stress remains unchanged. Prevent this by pre-committing raises. Allocate a portion automatically to debt reduction and investing increases. Here is a practical template for raises. For every new money increase, send 50% to financial goals, 30% to quality of life upgrades, and 20% to flexible enjoyment. This approach protects progress while keeping life enjoyable. Plans that feel like punishment tend to fail. Sustainable progress requires structure plus breathing room, not permanent deprivation. Let us revisit compounding with clarity. Compounding rewards time, consistency, and staying invested. Missing early years can require far higher future contributions to reach the same destination. That does not mean panic invest while drowning in expensive debt. It means avoid unnecessary delays once toxic debt is controlled and emergency reserves exist. Start with manageable amounts and scale steadily. Consistency beats intensity. Many people succeed with modest monthly contributions maintained for years. Large but irregular contributions often lose to small automated contributions that never miss a month. Now, psychological traps. Trap 1, waiting for perfect timing to invest. Trap 2, ignoring debt statements because numbers feel overwhelming. Trap 3, changing strategy every month after headlines. Antidote to Trap 1, start now with a rule-based amount. Antidote to Trap 2, weekly 5-minute debt check. Antidote to Trap 3, pre-written investment policy you follow during turbulence. Your policy can be simple: contribution date, target allocation, rebalancing frequency, and conditions for pausing increases. Keep it short enough to read quickly when emotions rise. Another trap is comparing your Chapter 2 with someone else's Chapter 10. Personal finance feeds insecurity when you measure against strangers instead of your own baseline and trajectory. Track personal progress metrics instead: debt principal reduced, emergency fund months covered, investment contributions completed, and net worth trend over 12-month periods. These metrics reinforce constructive behavior. Let us build a decision scorecard you can use tonight. Column 1, debt rates. Column 2, emergency fund status. Column 3, job stability. Column 4, behavioral confidence under market stress. If debt rates are high and emergency reserves are low, prioritize stabilization and payoff. If debt rates are moderate and stability is decent, choose hybrid allocation. If debt is low, invest more aggressively. No strategy survives without cash flow control. Budgeting is not restriction, budgeting is intentionality. Tell each currency unit where to go before the month begins, or impulses will decide for you. Try a simple budget framework: necessities, financial goals, and discretionary spending. Keep categories broad enough to maintain compliance, but specific enough to catch leaks and recurring overspending. If your plan repeatedly fails, do not assume lack of discipline first. Check whether targets are unrealistic. Overly aggressive goals can trigger burnout and complete abandonment after a few difficult months. Better to use progressive intensity. Start with a sustainable allocation, then increase every quarter. Momentum builds confidence, and confidence supports larger contributions without destabilizing your daily life. Now let us discuss partner alignment for households with shared finances. Conflicting money beliefs can sabotage good math. Hold structured conversations and agree on priorities, thresholds, and communication rules. Set a debt threshold where both agree payoff becomes top priority. Set an investing minimum that continues unless true emergency conditions occur. Agreement reduces arguments and prevents stop-start cycles. For viewers with variable income, use percentage-based contributions rather than fixed amounts only. This keeps progress alive during slower months while capturing upside during stronger months automatically. For self-employed viewers, separate tax reserves from emergency funds. Mixing them creates false security and surprise obligations. Clear account separation improves decision quality and reduces accidental over-allocation to investing. For early career viewers, your biggest asset is time. Even small contributions matter. Build the investing habit while aggressively preventing high-interest debt accumulation from becoming your default operating mode. For mid-career viewers, optimization matters more. Audit legacy debts, refinance intelligently, increase contribution rates, and align portfolio risk with your actual horizon rather than your recent emotions. For later career viewers, protect downside risk from sequence shocks. Keep a stronger liquidity buffer, reduce expensive debt exposure, and maintain disciplined investing that matches withdrawal timeline and income needs. Let us challenge a common misconception. Being debt-free automatically makes you wealthy. Debt freedom is powerful, but wealth usually requires ownership of productive assets over long periods. Another misconception. Investing automatically beats debt payoff. Not true when debt is expensive, behavior is inconsistent, or timeline is short. Strategy quality depends on matching tools to conditions. You do not need heroic complexity to win. You need clear priorities, automated execution, periodic review, and emotional discipline during uncomfortable periods. These fundamentals outperform flashy tactics surprisingly often. If markets fall after you begin investing, do not interpret temporary decline as failure. Evaluate whether your original thesis changed. Usually, long-term diversified strategies require patience, not sudden reversal. If interest rates rise on variable debt, recalculate quickly. A previously manageable balance can become costly. Plans must be living documents, updated when assumptions materially change. If income rises, increase strategic transfers before lifestyle expands. If income drops, protect essentials, minimum payments, and emergency reserves first. Then, reduce discretionary spending and optional contributions temporarily. Temporary contribution cuts are not defeat. Quitting entirely and never resuming is the real danger. Keep the system alive at any scale, then rebuild intensity when conditions improve. Now let us translate everything into a practical sequence you can follow. Week 1, gather numbers. Week 2, choose allocation split. Week 3, automate payments and contributions. Week 4, perform first review and adjust friction points. Month 2, track adherence, not perfection. Month 3, increase strategic allocation slightly if budget pressure remains manageable. By month 6, you should see measurable movement, lower toxic balances, stronger reserve base, and growing investment contributions. Progress visibility builds belief, and belief supports long-term consistency. By year 1, many viewers can eliminate high-interest debt entirely and establish stable investing habits. That combination changes how you relate to money decisions for the rest of your life. When you remove expensive debt drag and pair it with consistent ownership of productive assets, your financial trajectory bends. Not overnight, but unmistakably over a few disciplined years. And yes, there will be boring months. Boring is good. Boring means systems are working quietly. Wealth often looks repetitive before it looks impressive. Excitement can be expensive in finance. Chasing sudden breakthroughs usually increases risk and inconsistency. Quiet execution, repeated monthly, builds resilience and compounding power. If you feel behind today, remember this: regret is useful only if converted into structure. The best time to optimize was earlier. The second best time is this week. You do not need perfect confidence to start. You need a clear first move. Identify your highest interest debt, set your emergency baseline, and automate one investment contribution today. Then protect that habit. Scale gradually, review quarterly, refine based on reality, not internet arguments. Your plan should serve your life, not somebody else's identity. Before we close, here is your quick decision checklist. High-interest debt present, prioritize payoff, emergency funding complete, build buffer, low-rate debt manageable. Consider hybrid investing, prone to panic. Keep allocation conservative. If your debt keeps you awake, reduce it faster. If your debt is controlled and your horizon is long, invest alongside repayments. If uncertain, choose a moderate split and reassess quarterly. Financial progress is not about winning one debate. It is about building a repeatable process that survives market noise, life surprises, and emotional swings without collapsing. That process can be simple, personal, and strong. Eliminate toxic drag. Protect your downside. Own productive assets consistently. Increase your earning capacity. Repeat for years. Do this and your choices stop feeling random. They start feeling intentional. And intentional money decisions, repeated long enough, produce the kind of freedom most people think is unattainable. If this framework helped, share it with someone choosing between debt payoff and investing right now. A single better decision today can save years of financial friction later. And in the next video, we can build your exact monthly split model based on debt rate tiers, emergency fund status, and income stability, so your plan becomes numbers you can execute immediately. Until then, keep it simple, keep it automated, and keep moving. Small disciplined actions repeated every month can outperform dramatic bursts of effort and completely change your long-term financial path. You are not one perfect choice away from success. You are a sequence of consistent choices away from it. Make the next one count, then make the next one easier. Your money should work with your psychology, not against it. Build a plan you can follow in ordinary weeks, stressful weeks, and uncertain weeks. That is how durable wealth gets built. The goal is not to look smart online. The goal is to become anti-fragile financially, less vulnerable to shocks, less dependent on luck, and more capable of compounding progress. Every payment toward expensive debt increases flexibility. Every contribution to diversified assets increases future options. Combined thoughtfully, these actions create momentum that keeps expanding over time. If you commit to that, this debate stops being confusing. It becomes strategic, and strategic decisions applied consistently are exactly how ordinary people create extraordinary financial outcomes over time.